Hey gamers, today is a nice little story about how I was a silly little granola munching goblin, and instead of asking for help, I decided to waste 2.5 hours of my time on a Sunday night waddling around with a thumb in my ass. Uh, the story's not intrinsically funny, there's no funny interaction with another customer, it is literally just the self-servicing pity of a child who doesn't know how to do his job. But I'm here to tell it to you anyway. Thanks for watching, by the way. So this is about baby's first big outage, LOL. I got called out on a Sunday night to figure out while a community of townhomes had suddenly just lost all of their service. By all accounts, it's not a big outage. There was only 24 people that were offline, but hey, ooh, scary. Go figure it out. Here is our set piece for today. A nice, lovely, long capsule-style apartment with a kitchen, a living room, a nice little bedroom with a gamer desk and a gamer chair. You have to bring your own gamer laptop. Sorry, it has to be a laptop. I don't make the rules of this apartment complex. But anyways, back to Babby's first outage. I show up, I talk to the first reporting customer, because they're like, hey, I called in first. What's happening? Uh, go around, go inside. I take signal to where they have all their equipment at, and my signal is all sorts of fucked up. It is there, and then it's not. It's in, then it's out, and then you shake it all about. Uh, Bad juju. I walk outside, I go to the little maintenance garage, I flip that bitch open after undoing a lockbox hidden in the corner that has the keys to actually open up the system. Little known fact about a lot of local apartment complexes and service people, depending on the job, of course. Sometimes they just give us a little lockbox that we can set up and have a key to for every single technician in order to get into their maintenance areas. Partially, this is because as a utility company, we have the right to access easement spaces that either get agreed upon, in this case, a little maintenance shed, or like, let's say if you have telephone poles in your backyard or some shit, or you have the big green transformer you sat on as a kid in like middle school and elementary school waiting for the bus. That kind of thing. That's in an easement space, meaning, hey, you don't fucking own that. Some company does, lol. In most cases, it's your power company. You kind of want power, so you fucking deal with it. Or, in my case, a fucking telecommunications company. You want internet? Fucking bend over, buddy. Pay our prices. We promise we won't scam you. But with that, we go into our nice little shed. I go to my 8-way splitter that is set up for some of the units, and then there's another 8-way splitter. Wow, what does that number add up to? I don't know. The biggest number I can count to is 12 for my job. That's not a joke, by the way. With that, I plug into my little demarcation point, and what do you know? The signal is a little bit better because I'm not all the way inside the apartment complex. But it is still piss poor, and some of it doesn't look like my signal. Now, when I look at it, it looks like just jagged lines going up and down. Think if you look at a candlestick stock market graph. Listen, you're already on a niche Minecraft story time page telling about a guy working at a cable company. You're gonna have to deal with the neurodivergent ass interests. But anyways, it kind of looks like that. But then it goes haywire, like some 6-year-old is trying to miscalibrate a smartboard and is just pressing random places instead of in the dots. It's all sorts of fucked up. It's like trying to read two different words at the same time. Your brain just immediately develops dyslexia, and there's no repairing it. So it is about an hour and a half at this point where I'm just going, I don't know where my signal's gone. No unit here at all has signal. It's terrible. People are just staring at me at this point. Who's this long, blonde haired maniac running around? By the way, this is what I look like for realsies. I'm just going, oh, great, great, great. I gotta figure something out. So I finally open up my email and I check out the node, which is, our neighborhood designation for it, at least of this area. and I find, oh, we had some maintenance work done in the area. We had what was called a node split, where we just separate two neighborhoods away from each other, basically just splitting up the groups of people all using the same pipe. Think of a water hose. You can only put so much water through that hose. It has a theoretical maximum limit, but if you have two hoses, holy shit, bro, you got two hoses. Gee, Bill, I wish my mom let me have two. But I check it out, and yep, what do you know? Let's go on outside to see where our wires finally come out to. And sure enough, we have a wire coming out of the brick shed, and it goes into one of our lovely green pedestals. And there's something wrong with what I see. Oh. If you are at all familiar with being a cable guy, you can probably already tell where I'm going with this. But I'm going off the broad assumption that you're not a fucking loser like myself. So if you notice, we have two wires plugged into this weird metal bracket. Those are actual cable lines and then lead into the building. And then there's a whole bunch that just go nowhere. Those were for the satellite providers for the building, but no one had them. LOL, get fucked. But if you look, you see these weird black rubber caps over the rest of them. And those are not fucking supposed to be there. Uh, each of these is supposed to have a 75 ohm resistor terminator cap put on it in order to stop all of the weird, funny signal traveling through the cable line from escaping out into the world. Now think of it like a water faucet, but instead of it being water, it's just invisible, wiggly air. I know that's a great analogy for you folks, but that's just what radio waves are. It's invisible, wiggly air, just like music too. But with that, all of my signal that I needed was escaping out into the stratosphere. It was radiating out into the meth heads who think 5G internet will give you autism. And all of the boomers were immediately developing new diseases they've never heard of, like the measles. It's insane. But also, those are just open ports that will let anything into them, like local radio broadcast stations that operate at the same exact frequency as our cable system. It's bonkers and nutty. So with that, it's in the upper megahertz type shit. With that, it is excruciating knowing that not only is horrible, bad juju signal getting inside of my cable system, also all of my good shit that I want is just escaping out into the world. They're taking away my Pepsi and they're giving me Dr. Pepper. That might be the opposite for you. I don't know your demographic. So all it takes after 2.5 hours at this point is me just putting little Terminator caps instead of the dumb little rubber black caps, and voila. However you pronounce that, I'm not Italian. Uh, all of a sudden, all of my cable signal comes back strong and loud and proud, and also there's not really any noise, any bad shit coming out of it at this point. And all of my customers come online, and I become the hero of the village. AKA, I leave in the middle of the night so I can go home back to my family. Let this be a lesson. At no point in my story did I tell you that I called for help. I had 5 other dudes at this time that I could have called that would have either come help me figure out what was wrong so I could go home at a decent time, and or just tell me, hey dumbass, check your email. Quick 3-minute conversation, I can go, oh, okay, silly me. And I can look back at it now and I can laugh at it because, yeah, I get it, stressful situation for a fucking new guy only on his second on call shift. Yeah, of course you're gonna be fucking stupid. But it was also the pride and not me wanting to be embarrassed that I didn't know that this could ever possibly be a situation. Whereas where I am now in my career, every single person would go, hey, yeah, this could definitely be part of the problem. This job is a lot of you go from point A to point Z and you're just troubleshooting issues from each and every connecting letter. But troubleshooting, like most things, takes effort and is a skill that it takes to practice. When you were a 5-year old and you couldn't get the square block to go in the circle hole, you threw it at a fucking wall. Or at least I did. But eventually you learn to put the circle in the circle, and then you put the square in the square, and then the triangle in the square, and then the rectangle in the square, and it all just works. Moral of the story: ask for help, learn, or you're gonna be some loser on a Sunday night getting stared at by a bunch of people staring through their windows because they can't watch their Sunday night television show, and you're just a long blonde-haired kid sitting in the corner with his thumb up his ass going, I don't know what the problem is. I'd call my boss, but I'm embarrassed. I know you're losing hundreds of dollars of lost entertainment value, but I'm just a little baby. Anyways, ask for help, be a decent person, tip your waitress, and spay and neuter your pets. Have a good day.